A manhunt for the person who fatally shot conservative activist and father of two Charlie Kirk is over after President Donald Trump announced the suspect is in custody. 31-year-old Kirk was the founder of the conservative youth activist organization Turning Point USA. He was fatally wounded on Wednesday, September 10th during a campus event in Utah Valley University in Orem, Utah. Authorities have identified 22-year-old Tyler Robinson as a suspect who allegedly killed Kirk. Here is a timeline of how the shooting unfolded and how Robinson was arrested. According to Utah Governor Spencer Cox, suspect Tyler Robinson arrived at UVU's campus at 8:29 a.m. local time on the day of the shooting, driving a gray Dodge Challenger. Bo Mason, the commissioner for the Utah Department of Public Safety, said authorities tracked the suspect's movements onto the campus.
Through the stairwells, up to the roof, across the roof to a shooting location.
At 12:07 p.m., a crowd awaits Charlie Kirk at UVU, the first stop on Turning Point USA's The American Comeback Tour. Supporters start chanting Kirk's name ahead of his appearance. Around 12:09, Kirk makes his appearance and throws hats out into the crowd of about 3,000 people.
All right, we're going to get started, everybody. You know how it works.
12:11 p.m. Kirk begins speaking, opening debate and answering questions from individuals in the crowd. At 12:23 p.m., Kirk is hit with a single shot to the neck, appearing to come from an elevated position on a nearby rooftop. Video shows Kirk being carried by 6 men to an SUV, which transports him to Timpanogos Regional Hospital. According to authorities, immediately following the shooting, the subject moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled campus into a nearby neighborhood. At 12:52 p.m., UVU sent out an alert that police are investigating and that a suspect is in custody. The person of interest is released after questioning. At 2:22 p.m., the Orem Police Department said the shooting suspect was not in custody and is still at large. At 2:40 p.m., President Donald Trump announces in a post on Truth Social that Charlie Kirk has died from his injuries, writing, quote, "No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie." At 4 p.m., Utah Governor Spencer Cox clarifies during a press conference.
Shalom, shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakak Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone who teaching real well. Peace and salutation to the whole flex scattered abroad. That's out here doing this work in truth and sincerity. Honor Brother Bob from Prophets of Babylon camp, coming at you with a quick sit down through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Lord willing, just that's edifying, man. You know, look at these damn devils, man. You know, these damn devils plotting against each other, man. This man doesn't look to have any military training, but plotted out a whole plot to kill this man. This man was literally on top of a damn building like a damn sniper, you know, and shot this man, you know. These damn devils, man. You don't see Jake doing shit like that, man. It's always these damn devils plotting, man. You know, that's why they're when these Edomites start doing shit like this, man, you can see that their kingdom is crumbling, man. You know, I'm gonna read a little bit of this. It says authorities have identified 22 Tyler Robinson as a suspect who allegedly fatally shot conservative activist or father of two Charlie Kirk. A 22-year-old man, you know, a so-called youngster, planned out this whole thing, man. You know, that and that also goes to show you, man, you know, who that sword is for, man. You know, for this man to get on top, a 22-year-old to get on top of a building as a sniper like he on Call of Duty and snipe this man straight in the neck and take him out, you know. And look at all those people in these pictures, man. This is on ABC News, by the way, because, sometimes if they don't, give them their credit, they'll take your video down. But you see all these people in the crowd, and this man is sitting somewhere over there in the left in the chair. You know what kind of precise aim you have to have to not only hit any people, but shoot this man directly in the neck with one shot and kill him. At 22 years old. It don't say that he had any military training, or combat training or nothing like that, man. This these damn devil's blessing, man. That damn sword, man. These damn, it says Kirk is hit with a single shot that came from a rooftop. That goes to show you, man. These damn devils are crafty with their sword. And you can also see that their kingdom is crumbling, man. To the scriptures. I'm gonna go to the book of Psalms chapter 46. Salakia. I'm gonna go to the book of Mark. Salakia. Mark chapter 3. This is Mark chapter 3. I'm gonna start at verse 23. It says, and he called them unto him and said unto them in parables, how can Satan cast out Satan? And if a kingdom be divided against itself, that kingdom cannot stand, man. And you see this. You see this everywhere, man. These devils coming up against each other, man. Their kingdom ain't got much longer, man. Their kingdom is crumbling, man. You got Republican against Democrat. This man was a supporter of Donald Trump. And somebody against their whole campaign got up there and shot him in the neck, man. Because he don't have as much protection as Donald Trump does, man. He don't have no security, no military on roofs looking. He out there ass out, man. Basically. It says verse 25. It says, and if a house be divided against itself, the house cannot stand. And if Satan rise up against himself and be divided, he cannot stand, but hath an end. And these devils' end are coming. They think just because they take out these damn Edomites over here in America, that those Edomites over there, man, are gonna take rule and take power, man. But it's not gonna be nothing like that, man. The true power, the true people are coming into power, man. The Israelites, man, and we're gonna rule righteously, man. Lord, we be of that elect number. That governing body, man. I'm gonna go to the book of Psalm, chapter 2. We'll get in NLT. It says, why are the nations so angry? Why do they waste their time with futile plans? You wasting your time thinking you gonna come back into power, man. Thinking your kingdom gonna rule forever. Just because you think I want Edomite, you think you gonna be in power, man. You wasting your time. It says the kings of the earth prepare for battle. The rulers plotted together against the Lord and against his anointed one, man. They out here plotting on brothers, man. They know the true men that's out here doing the work, man. They're plotting on us, man. You know, and ultimately they coming up against the Lord. You know, the Lord's people. But the Lord got something for their ass, man. It says, let us break their chains, they cry, and free ourselves from the slavery to Yahweh Bashim Yahshai. But the one who rules in heaven laughs, the Lord scoffs at them. You know, the Lord is laughing at these damn Edomites, man. These Edomites really think they could take the Lord out or beat the Lord any kind of way, man. Not knowing that the Lord gave them their little bit of power that they have. You know, that's a damn prideful devil for you, man. To think you could come against the almighty power and win. You've been trying to come against the Lord, man. You know, that's how more prideful can you get, nigga? you the true niggas, you know. But grab the book of Matthew chapter 12 verse 25. It says, and Yahweh knew their thoughts, and even said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. And if Satan cast off Satan, he is divided against himself. How shall then his kingdom stand, man? You know, it says this multiple times in the scriptures, man. If you going against one another, man, your kingdom not gonna stand. It's not gonna last long, man. You know, the Lord is crumbling this devil's kingdom as we speak, man. These devils coming up against themselves, man. You know, thinking one of them gonna be on top. You know, but they're just making it easier for us, man. You know, really and truly, they make it easier for us to come take everything, man. Once the Lord give us those spiritual powers, man. I'm gonna go to the book of we'll grab this last scripture in the book of Daniel. Daniel chapter 2. This is Daniel chapter 2 verse this is Daniel chapter 2 verse 44. It says, and in the days of the kings shall the power of heaven set up a kingdom, which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people, but it shall break into pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever, man. You know, Israel will stand forever. It will never be destroyed, man. That everlasting kingdom, you know, that everlasting life, man. You know, and that's gonna be to Israel, man. You know, and it's coming soon, man. Sooner than some people may think, man. You know, but yeah, man, that's pretty much all on this lesson, man. You know, you devils ain't got much longer, man. You know, I pray this lesson was edifying to the hopeful elect. Until next video, Shalom.